Hello, my name is Prophet Pierre Williston. Uh, Today I wanted to share about uh, John 18, where they come and arrest Jesus. Okay, and in that story we see Peter uh, cut the ears of the high priest Caiaphas. The name of the servant was Malchus. Okay, and we cannot uh, understand the whole story without taking John 18 in all its context. Okay, it's the courts that come and to arrest Jesus after the Garden of the Gethsemane prayer anguish. Okay, they come, and when we look at the word cohorts, it means, if you are Roman, about 500 to 1,000 people. That's why it got so much tumult, so many people reacting. We're not talking about 10 or 12 people coming to arrest Jesus, but it could be at from 500 to 1,000 people. And when those 500 to 1,000 people come to arrest Jesus, Judas kissed Jesus on the cheek. Then they ask, who are they gonna come and arrest? They said that Jesus, and Jesus said, "It's me." Okay, when he says it's me, everybody that came to arrest him fall back and flat on their behind. Okay, just imagine, and by that, Jesus was showing that he was in control. Imagine 500 to 1,000 people fall flat on their back at the simple, "Here I am," like God said to Moses a few hundred or 1,000 years ago. Okay, and they rose back, and he said, "Here I am." And then Peter took his sword and cut the ears of the high priest servant. Okay, and this high priest servant was called Malchus. Okay, and when we take the context, okay, Peter saw Jesus for the last 3 years, doing miracles, wonder, multiplying wine, fish, bread, healing the sick, raising a dead, a few times though, and everybody was in shock. But who at that time he became so powerless? Okay, and imagine all the disciple that saw Jesus with such power, choosing to be so weak and powerless to accomplish, to fulfill the will of the Father. Okay? And he even said to those that came to arrest him, "If I wanted, God could send me at least 12,000 angels to defend me." But instead of saying and standing against that, he decided to become an accomplice of those who were there to kill him. Okay? He decided to make the choice so that our guilt, our shame could be paid. Okay? If you can't understand that the word of the living God decided to die to set you free, imagine the word of God that created all the universe decided to become so powerless to gain you from your shame to the freedom of God. Okay, the same Peter that cut the hair of the servant's high priest, who could have been someone they kidnapped from another country to become a slave, could have been just an employee, or could have been a slave that sold himself until the time of the Jubilee. Okay? And when Jesus put back the ear of the servant, not only he did that for Peter, so that Peter won't be killed, because you cannot attack the servant of the high priest without causing your own death, but that Jesus cared also for the servant because he put his hair back with no proof whatsoever of what happened. Okay? He didn't do just that for Peter, the friend that followed him for 3 years, that saw him do miracles, raise Lazarus, heal his mother-in-law, and this and on and on and on. But he did that because it was genuine care. Okay, the same Peter that saw that was the same Peter that sold Jesus. Okay, 3 times he denied Jesus. I don't know him. Then the servant came and aren't you are the friend of Jesus? Like for the last 3 years, anyone in Jerusalem didn't know who Peter was. He was the guy who was always with Jesus. Just imagine how confused Peter was when you can say to the people close to the temple that you were never with Jesus. Just imagine the anguish that really burned Peter alive. Okay? Because everybody close to the high priest knew how many times they tried to frame Jesus with this, with that, with the hooker that they found out she was full in the middle of an action, and Jesus found a way to redeem her and put and sent everybody back with their own sin and their own face. Okay? And Peter denied Jesus 3 times. And whoop, Jesus is dead. They put him on the grave. Then the lady came and said, the tomb is empty. Okay? The tomb is empty. Imagine the shock. They saw Jesus whipped, beaten, mocked, betrayed, and this and on and on. And they come and say, the grave, the tomb is empty. And after that, Jesus came to the disciple, knock on the door, and sage Jesus, and no one understand a thing. They saw him dead. They saw him shedding blood. They saw him being mocked. And then whoop, they go back to fishing, and then whoop, Jesus is there on the beach waiting for them. His friends spent the night trying to get some fish. And then they came back, and then Jesus sent them back. He said, throw your net on the other side of the boat. And when they did, and they got 153 fish, Peter understood that the fisher of men was there waiting for them. So he threw everything out and go jump into the sea and come back to Jesus. Imagine the one he betrayed. Now he can look at his face in his eyes and see the kindness and mercy in his eyes again. But this time, not for any others than himself. You know, Peter couldn't have seen Jesus without seeing the love, the care, the genuine care of Jesus. Again, instead of judging him, he literally melted in Jesus' eyes to see how much he cares. And for, I think it's 40 days, Jesus every day, every time Peter was seeing him, okay? And anyone who knows about post-traumatic disorder know how traumatizing it should have been for Peter to see his friend for the last 3 years, that the miracle that was teaching, that was caring, that was laughing with them, eating with them, and for the last 3 years, and then poof, they kill him. Imagine the shame. Imagine the guilt that he felt. And then Jesus still looked to him with his loving and caring eyes. And it turned that to an experience in a way that the coward that rejected Jesus became the leader of the Christian religion. Not only that, but that the Saint Peter became the one who opened the way to the Gentile with Cornelius. Okay? From we are to we are here to serve, to care, to love. Why? Because in his darkest spot, Peter saw those forgiving eyes. So when you feel you have to run away from God, it's the time you need to take a good look at Jesus into his forgiving eyes. Because it's when you feel the most disgusting that you need to remember the price of those forgiving eyes paid for you. Okay? That's the power of the cross. The cross is not do what you want to do whenever you want to do. The cross is the Father longs to get you close to Him. And that's so far above religion that it became madness to us, but wisdom to God. So if I can suggest you today, when you feel ashamed, dirty, maybe it's the time for you to come back to those forgiving eyes and remind why Jesus paid the price when he was in the garden. Instead of being powerless, he became so full of his strength that he knew the why he had to do it for you. Either you have 1 year in the Lord, 10 seconds in the Lord, 50 years in the Lord. When you feel you lack the strength, it's because you have to put your eyes back deep into His forgiving eyes. Don't let religion, don't let other people's standards keep you away from Jesus. Because Jesus still has open arms for you. Don't let others, even me, don't let me take away your right to come back to those forgiving eyes. Because that's the shout of God for you. God bless you.